Welcome student. Today we will discuss our next topic, metals and non-metals. Let's see what is meant by the metals, non-metals, how they will occur, what is the exactly position of the metals and non-metals in their periodic table. Okay, so first we will discuss occurrence of the metals and the non-metals. Currently we have, if we see 92 naturally occurring elements we have. Among them, 70 are the metals and 22 are the non-metals. And few elements they show the property of the both metals and non-metals, they are the metalloids. So here very important terms is there, metalloids. What is meant by the metalloids? These are the elements they can show the property of both metals and non-metals. In next slide I will show you how the exactly metalloids they are get arranged in their periodic table. Next, some metals like the gold, silver, platinum, they are found in a free state. Okay, free state it means they never combine with any other element. It means what is the formula for the gold? It is AU, silver it is AG, and platinum it is a PT. Okay, so these elements they are not combined with any other element, they are present in a free state. Okay, and few metals they are combined with oxygen called as oxide, with sulfur called as a sulfide, with a carbonate that is a CO3, and with silicates. Okay, so from this point what you understood exact, few metals they are present in a free state, and most of the metals, many metals they are in the combined state. They may combine with the oxygen or sulfur or carbonate or silicate. Then few non-metals they are present in a free state like the helium, neon, argon, and few non-metals they are combined with a element like the sulfur, phosphorus, and with any other, maybe oxygen also. Okay, so from this point what you understood, metals they may present in the free state, or metals they may present in the combined state. Non-metals they may present in the free state, or they may present in the combined state. Understood? So periodic table. In our chemistry, periodic table is there in which the elements they are arranged in a specific manner. If we see, we have different colors in the table. You can easily see. The blue color, this is nothing but for metals. The green color, it is for the metalloid, and the yellow, it is for the non-metal. The position of the element, it is fixed. They are not changed. Okay, it means hydrogen always remain at its first position, while helium it is present at its second position. Then lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. Okay, so this is nothing but the elements which are present in a table at a fixed state. So what is meant by the metalloid? Metalloid it means the element which shows the property of both metals and non-metals. Okay, metals and non-metals, and they are present between these two. Okay, so this is nothing but the periodic table. Don't go in detail, because in the next class we will go in detail how exactly periodic table is to be memorized. Next point we have metallurgy. So we have different terms. Before starting the topic we must know what is the exactly different terms present in the topic metallurgy. What is metallurgy? It is a science of extraction of metals from their ores and their purification. It is a science of what is meant by the extraction of metal? Extraction of metal, it means we are obtaining the metals. How we can obtaining the metals? From their ores. What are ores? Ores are the compound in which metals are present. Ores are the compound in which metals are present. Understood? So from this ore we can extract, we can isolate metals. So what kind of the process we required? This process, it is nothing but the metallurgy. I hope you understood. What is metallurgy? It is a science. Okay, it is a branch of science which deals with the study of extraction of metals. What is meant by the extraction of metal? Metals are get isolate, metals are get obtained. Okay, so how they will obtain? From their ores. What is meant by the ores? Ores, it is a compound in which metal is present. For example, if I will give you one example, that is calcium carbonate, CaCO3. Okay, CaCO3. Do you know chalk powder? We are used in our daily classroom. So this is chalk powder. So this chalk powder contain calcium carbonate, and this calcium carbonate contain the calcium. Okay, so calcium, it is present in the form of calcium carbonate. This is called the ores, and from which we can isolate metals, that is calcium. Okay, so this is nothing but the metallurgy. What is meant by the minerals? Minerals, they are the naturally occurring substance containing one or more elements or their compounds. As the name indicate, minerals, they are always found in the mines. Okay, in the mines, and they contain one or more element from their compound. So we can say that these are the ores. Minerals are the ore, but where they exact found? They are found in the mines. Okay, in exam there might be definition for 1 mark. What are minerals? Minerals are the naturally occurring compounds which contain one or more elements or their compound found in a mines. What is metallurgy? It is a science of extraction of metals from their ores. The next, what is meant by the ore? Ore is a minerals from which one or more metals can be extracted profitably. What is meant by the ore? Ores are the minerals, and from such minerals we can extract metals. Okay. And this process should be profitably. It means it is a commercial process through which we can isolate, we can extract the metal from their ores. This is nothing but the ores. Next, metallurgical process. So we know that metallurgy, it is nothing but the branch of science which deals with the study of extraction of metals. Okay, and for the extraction of the metal we are implementing the different kinds of the processes. So what are the different kinds of the processes? It contains 3 main steps, not processes, 3 main steps. What are the 3 main steps? First step is concentration of ore. Concentration of ore. Second is reduction, and third is a refining. Okay, so what is meant by the concentration of the ore? Concentration of the ore, it is nothing but the removal of impurities from the ore. We know that ore. What is ore? Ores are the compounds from which we can extract the metals. Okay, we can extract metals. But along with the ore, they also contain some kind of the impurities. What kind of the impurities? Maybe the sand, or maybe the soil, or maybe the some other kind of the impurity which is present along with the ore. Okay, so this is nothing but the first step, concentration of the ore. Let's take one example. Suppose calcium carbonate is there, but along with the calcium carbonate there may be the chance that Some other particles are also get present along with the calcium carbonate. We are not interested in that. When we remove such impurities from the calcium carbonate, what we get? We get only the calcium carbonate, and all the impurities is get easily removed. This is nothing but the concentration of ore. Okay, removing the impurities from the ore, this is nothing but the concentration of ore. Next, reduction. What is meant by the reduction? The process of obtaining the metal from its compound. Okay, process of obtaining the metal from its compound. We know when we remove the impurities from the ore, now what we get? We get only the ore. So from this ore, if we obtain a metal, this is nothing but the reduction. There is another meaning of the reduction, but right now just you have to focus obtaining metal from its compound, by removing oxygen or adding hydrogen. I am adding two words in the definition of reduction. The process of obtaining the metal from its compound by removing oxygen or adding hydrogen. This process it is called reduction. Now what is refining? Refining, it is a process of purification of the impure metals to obtain the pure metals. Okay, as the word suggests, refining, it is nothing but the purification. What we will purify? Metals. Okay, and metals, when they convert into their pure state from the impure, this is nothing but the refine. Again, I am revise this metallurgical process. What is meant by the metallurgical process? It contains three steps. First is the concentration of the ore, which is nothing but the removing the impurities. Second, reduction. Reduction is nothing but the obtaining metals from its compound by removing oxygen or adding hydrogen. Refining, it means once we obtain the metal in a reduction process, then we are purified it. This is nothing but the refining. I hope you understood this part. Next part, metals and non-metals. We know already the position of metals and non-metals in the periodic table. So what they attain its physical properties along with its some exception, and what exactly they bear differences between metals and non-metals. If we see, metals are solid. Okay, metals are solid. But one exception is that mercury. You can check here, mercury. Okay, but non-metals, they are either solid, liquid, or the gases. It means all three states non-metals are present, but metals, they are generally present in a solid state. But one exception is there, mercury. Okay, so in exam there might be question for 1 mark. Tell me one metal which is present in a liquid state. Yes, mercury. The next, metals are hard. As they are in a solid state, they are hard, with some exception, sodium, potassium. Okay, but non-metals, they are solid. Those which are present in a solid, they are brittle. But one exception is that diamond, it is the hardest form of the non-metal or hardest form of the carbon. Okay, so metals have metallic luster. What is my metallic luster? They are shine. They properly shine. But non-metals, they do not have a luster and they appears dull. They are not too much shine as like the metals. They are the metallic luster. They are dull in nature. The next point, metals have high melting point. As they are present in the solid state, they are hard. So if they are hard, it means they require the large temperature to melt it. So that's why metals have high melting point. But if we compare the non-metals have low melting point. Okay, those which are present in a solid state, which having the slightly high boiling point or melting point. If they are present in a liquid state, then again boiling point is decreased, and those which are present in the gaseous state, which having the very least melting or boiling point. Understood? So first point we have its physical state. Second point we have their hardness. Third point we have metallic luster. Next point we have melting point. Okay, next, metals are malleable. What is meant by the malleable? Malleable, it means the property of an element which can be made into thin sheets, which can be made into thin sheets by hammering. When we hammer, when we apply the force or pressure on any kind of the element, if they are easily converted into thin sheets, then they are called as a malleable. And what is meant by the non-malleable? If they are not converted into thin sheets, they are non-malleable. So we know that metals are solid, so that's why they can easily convert into thin sheets. But non-metals, they are, most of the non-metal, we can say they are liquid and the gaseous state, so that's why they are not convert into the thin sheets, so that's why they are the not malleable. The next, metals are ductile. What is mean by the ductile? Ductile, it means they can be made into thin wires. They can be made into thin wires. Malleable, it means they can made into thin sheets. But what is meant by ductile? They can be made into thin wires. Okay, so metals are the ductiles, but non-metals are non-ductile. Non-metals are non-ductile. It means they are not made into thin wires. They can made into thin sheets. They cannot made into thin sheets. They can made into thin wires. They cannot made into thin wires. Metals are a good conductor of heat and electricity. We know that metal, they are easily carry the electricity and heat, so that's why they are a good conductor. But non-metals, they do not carry, so that's why they are the bad conductor of heat and electricity. And last point, metals are sonorous. What is meant by sonorous? Sonorous, it means they produce sound. We know that when we slightly touch to the metals, they produces a typical sound. So this property of metal, it is called as a sonorous. But non-metals, they are not producing such a sound, so that's why non-metals are not sonorous. Again, we will revise only the point. We will revise, they are the solid state. Most of the compounds, they are the liquid and the gaseous state, and few are in the solid state. They are hard, they are soft, they have the metallic luster, they do not have metallic luster, they have the dull appearance, high boiling point, high melting point, they have the low melting point, they are the malleable, non-malleable, ductile, non-ductile, they are sonorous, they are non-sonorous, they are good conductor of heat electricity, they are bad conductor of heat and electricity. Understood? Differentiating points are very important for exam point of view. Next point we have chemical properties of metals and non-metals. See, reaction with oxygen. What is my chemical properties? Chemical properties means how they react with the other elements or compounds. How they react with the other elements and compounds. So, metals react with oxygen to form metallic oxide. Already we discussed that when metal is there, when they combine with the oxygen to form metallic oxide. These oxides are basic oxide because they react with water to form a basis. Again, I am revise this point. Suppose we have metals. Consider this is a metals. What is meant by the oxides? They react with the oxygen. So to form oxide. So this is nothing but the oxide. It is oxide. And these oxides are basic in nature. What is the nature of this oxide? These oxides are basic in nature. What is meant by the basic? I will explain you what is meant by the basic. So what is meant by the oxide? When metals come with a oxygen, this is called as a metallic oxide. And these metallic oxide react with the water to form a basis. What is meant by the base? Base is nothing but the whose pH is more than 7. Whose pH is more than 7, then we can say that compounds are bases. We know that pH scale is there. pH scale, it is a 0, it is a 7, and it is a 14. Okay, it is a 14 is there. So more than 7, we can say that they are the base. More than 7, they are the base. Less than 7, they are called as acid. Less than 7, they are called acid. And exact 7, it is called neutral. Okay, in this way, when metal they combine with the oxygen to form oxide, and these oxides when react with the water to form bases. For example, you can see magnesium. When magnesium burns in air to form magnesium oxide, and magnesium react with the water to form magnesium hydroxide. So this is a magnesium oxide. When magnesium combine with oxygen to form magnesium oxide, this is a magnesium oxide. And this magnesium oxide react with the water to form magnesium hydroxide plus hydrogen. Okay, magnesium hydroxide plus hydrogen. Understood? So this is nothing but the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So first reaction we discuss, reaction with oxygen. When they react with the oxygen to form an oxide. Next, reaction with water. Metals react with water to form metal hydroxide and hydrogen. Okay, when metals react with oxygen to form metal oxide, metals plus oxygen to form metal oxide. Okay, this is called metal oxide. But what happens when metals react with the water? What is the formula for the water? Water, it is nothing but the H2O. H2O. And here metal is there. So when they react with each other to form MOH. So if OH is there, then we can say that it is a hydroxide. Okay, it is hydroxide. For example, we can see sodium react with water to form sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. So you can check here, sodium. This is a sodium. React with water to form sodium hydroxide. What is meant by the hydroxide? If any compound contain OH, then it is called hydroxide. With the evolution of hydrogen gas. With the evolution of hydrogen gas. It means each reaction, which gas is evolved? Hydrogen gas is evolved. In each reaction, which compound is formed? Compound which contain the OH. If compound contain the OH, then we can say that it is a hydroxide. You can check here, magnesium react with the water to form magnesium hydroxide. Why it is called hydroxide? Because it contain the OH. Which gas is evolved? H2 gas. Hydroxide gas is evolved. If this is happen, then we can say that metals react with water, they form the hydroxide. Next, reaction with acid. Metals react with acids to form metallic salts, and which gas is evolved? Hydrogen gas is evolved. You can check here, zinc. What is the symbol for the zinc? Zn. When they react with the HCl to form ZnCl2. ZnCl2 plus which gas is evolved? Hydrogen gas is evolved. Okay, it means this is a salt, ZnCl2. ZnCl2, this is a salt. You can check here, Zn, this Zn react with this Cl to form ZnCl2 and hydrogen gas is evolved. Most non-metals do not react with the acid. So whatever the reaction we discuss, this is the nothing but for the metals only. But if we compare with the non-metals, they do not react with the acids. Okay, some non-metals like the sulfur react with the concentrated nitric acid and to form the sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide and water. You can see in the diagram, this is a sulfur, this is a symbol for the sulfur, react with the nitric acid to form SO2, NO2 and H2O. Okay, sulfur react with HNO3 nitric acid to form SO2, NO2 and H2O. So this is nothing but the today's lecture. Okay, again we will revise what exactly we learned in this today's lecture. You can check, you can revise. So we have total 92 occurring element, among them 70 are the metal, 22 are the non-metal, few are the metalloid. Few metals they are present, few metals they are present in a free state, few metals they are present in a combined state. Same with the non-metal, they are either in the free state or in the combined state. So we have the periodic table in chemistry. Each element they are arranged in a specific manner. Metalloids they are present in between the metals and non-metals. You can check here, metal color, non-metal color and metalloid color. Next few terms, metallurgy. It is a science of extraction of metals from their ores and their purification. Okay, this is carried out by through different steps. What is minerals? These are the compounds or one or more element through which we can isolate metals and found in a mines. What is meant by the ores? Ores are nothing but the minerals from which one or more metals can be profitably extracted. Next, metallurgical process. We have three metallurgical process. Concentration of ore, it means removing the impurity. Reduction, obtaining the metal from its compound. And last, refining, it is nothing but the purification by removing the impurities from the pure, obtaining the pure metal. Then differentiating point between the metals and non-metals. Metals are solid, these are present either in all the three states. They are hard, they are soft, they have the metallic luster, they do not have metallic luster. Due to the hard in nature, they have the high melting point, they have the low melting point. They are malleable, non-malleable, they are ductile, non-ductile, they are sonorous, they are non-sonorous, they are good conductor, they are bad conductor of electricity. Next, chemical properties, it means reaction with oxygen. When metals they react with oxygen to form the oxide, and when this oxide react with the water. Okay, metal with oxygen to form metal oxide, and these metal react with the water to form metal hydroxide plus hydrogen. Reaction with water. So sodium react with the water to form sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is evolved. So sodium react with the water to form hydroxide, it means OH, and removal of hydrogen gas. Reaction with acids. Metals react with the acids to form metallic salts and hydrogen. So in this way, zinc react with HCl to form ZnCl2 plus hydrogen gas is evolved. If we compare with the non-metals, they do not react with the acids, but few non-metals like the sulfur, they react with the acids to form sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide and water. So this is nothing but the today's lecture. In next lecture we will discuss next chemical properties of metals and non-metals.